All right, so Paul, you've had a bunch of these videos done for you. You've seen them, you've seen all kinds of things. So a few questions for you about this. I guess in terms of the service itself, have you ever seen any type of service, testimonial service like this before?
No, no, and that's one of the reasons why we came to you is we knew you had the interview skills to talk to a wide range of people, and we knew we really wanted to capture um, a lot of the emotion and the feelings that went along with the event and what we do. So it was unique, and it was exactly what we needed, to really get what our events were all about.
What is it that you liked about it? I mean, you talked about, be able to interview and get some of that information, but what was it that kind of was just that you really liked about it once you'd seen the videos?
When you're getting testimonials, there's always going to be a little bit of, being self-conscious or maybe not asking someone full out, for a testimony. Everyone's a little bit kind of, humble and nice, in a way. And not that getting a testimonial isn't nice, but there's only going to be so far you're going to go when kind of talking about yourself. It's just kind of human instinct. But what you do, I think, was crucial for us is that you were able to ask the questions that I probably just wasn't comfortable asking, our attendees and the people that are in our masterminds and seminars. And that was vital to me because I knew those questions were important. But there's just, it's like anything else, there's some things you just need help doing right. We can all file our taxes, but it's not going to be as good as an accountant doing it. We can all kind of train ourselves. But it's not going to be good it's not going to be as good as we have a trainer that really knows what they're doing. So I think that was the real crucial part, is that sometimes we shy away or we don't go after the testimonials like we should, or we don't go as in depth. And that was, you were able to kind of bridge that gap for us. And we were able just to kind of connect you with the people that we knew were our, really loyal fans and had a great experience at our events and masterminds, but you were able to kind of really bring out the emotions and that really get to the core of what we do. And I don't think that would have happened had we just, asked them for a quick testimonial or I asked them to jump on. I certainly wouldn't have went as in-depth as you did.
Right. And you say it's probably the same thing if someone's maybe sitting there thinking, well, why do I need a service to do this when I can do it myself? It's kind of the same thing as what you're saying.
Well, you can't. Well, here's the thing. You're number one. You're not going to do a good job, like we just talked about. You're always going to leave something on the table, and that little bit you leave on the table is the difference between something really good and something really great, and that's usually a small percentage. But here's the other thing too. The principle of third party that's involved here, and you're providing that service where you're a third party talking about an event or talking about a service or someone, if they're the deliverer of their product or service, you're talking about the person. And people that try and promote themselves come off as laughing stocks. And it's kind of, once you get on that wheel, I mean, you see people like on Facebook and stuff, they're always posting pictures of themselves doing stuff, and it's always posts kind of about themselves and stuff, and they just look so foolish. But when somebody else is talking about you or somebody else is having the conversation, there's not only you're going to get the emotion and stuff we talked about before, but you're also going to get that third party that makes it kind of official. It's not you talking about you or you talking to your prospect about you. It's why even in this day and age, the president of the United States, when he was running for president, needed people to come out and endorse him. He was already the president. Like Colin Powell comes out and endorses him. It's a big deal. This is a guy who's already the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a third party principle that's in effect there that really happens here in these videos.
What type of impact did you see from the videos, or I guess from other people who had seen them, or what they were directed towards?
I think it made it really, we run very small kind of, under the radar events. So we don't want to be, a room full of 300 people at the GFGI events. We want people that we know are solid, that are like the people that have come through our program before, the graduates. We wanted to make sure that came through, that when people looked at those videos, that they saw people that were like them, shared the same values, brought to the table kind of the same work ethic. So a lot of the things that we wanted to get across to a prospect came across in those videos. That it wasn't like some easy system of, it wasn't some money making thing. That's not what we're about. We wanted people to know that it was, it was work. It was, it was a system we were teaching, but it was more than just a business thing. It was about life and families and relationships and growing as a person. So we don't want a ballroom full of people. So for us, it eliminated those people that were not a good fit, and it really attracted the people that were exactly who we were looking for, and it continues to do so. We still use those videos and still actively use you on an ongoing basis to do them for us. And it's just, you've done a great job at capturing our people. That we and when when someone comes into our world, it's I don't know if it's different from other people, but it's different for me. It's really, we bring them in as family, and we work with them all throughout the year to get involved with their lives. So I know what they're like and I know who they are. So I see how that matches up in the video. You really captured who those people really are and what the event did for them and the results and the success that they have enjoyed since the event and the ongoing training.
Since it brings in those kinds of people, would you say that, I guess, there's an emotional connection with this type of video or service that kind of drew those types of people into this?
Sure. Because when someone gets on there and you're talking to them and the questions to ask, and even if I could do a good job at it, I don't know the cues and the things to look for like you do. When somebody says something, you pick up on it and you can head right down that path. And the emotional part of things in any service, in any business, in any product, there's always an emotional decision that's made. We always say it's very rare that someone buys on logic, right? Every marketing teacher has taught that. So emotion plays a huge part in someone's buying decision. And I think what you're able to capture as well is, everyone's made emotional impulse buys, where they just buy something on for an emotional reason. We've got probably closets full of junk and, stuff that we bought because we thought we wanted at the time. But what I think is it shows an authenticity about our group, that we've been around for a while. We continue to do events. We have ongoing masterminds, and we're, so for us, it was emotional, to connect with those people. But it also shows that we continue that. It's not something that's just a one-off event and we're trying to pile as many people as we can. We're really trying to help people change their lives and grow. And I think the videos have shown that ongoing process. So there's an authenticity and a trust factor that goes along with it. So it's not just emotional, like an impulse buy or emotion just that you get caught up in. It's something that you connect with on a deeper level, and it's something that can, is proven that will maintain and will be, will stand the test of time.
Let's talk the business side of this in terms of the value. What would you see as the value as a service such as this?
Well, it's probably the most undervalued, underappreciated part of any business. I can tell you that in different businesses that we've had one or two testimonials that have completely shifted the entire course of our business. In this regard with GFGI, we had guys that you interviewed talking about going from coming to the seminar, not having done anything, and then doing $1 million in 1 year. We had guys that have gone from making $2,000 to $10,000. Guys who, and on the personal side, guys have lost 70 pounds because of the support of the group, and so those testimonials, those will go on forever. We will have those success stories captured in our in our history forever. And those are the ones that will, there's, as you've seen with our group, there's some guys that are really like cornerstone figures of the group. They're just kind of emerged as leaders and really the cornerstones. And their success, and we have that history now of where they came from. So when somebody comes into the group now, and they say, oh, well, everybody's so far ahead of me. It actually just came up. We point them back. We say, wait, go back and look at, a couple of these guys 3-4 years ago. And it was not like that, So it gives you that historical perspective on things. And like I said, one testimonial can shift the entire course of a business. I mean, it really can. It's amazing how it works. But one testimonial could be worth hundreds and thousands and maybe even millions, to a business. You never know how that's going to work.
Okay, a few more questions for you. Tell me about the done for you aspect of this, where you don't have to go out and do anything. It's pretty much you call me, set it up, and it's done.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, basically, we just kind of hand you over the contact info, or we make the connection. And a lot of times, some of the guys, you've met them because you're at the event too. So you're at the event, you've already talked to a lot of the people, and you've interacted with them, so that helps as well. But there's some people that you hadn't met before, coaching clients of mine, and that we just kind of made the connection. And you kind of took it from there, and we had just kind of had loose discussions about the questions, but. Even though we had some questions we wanted to ask, I still trusted it, to give you kind of free range to ask whatever you wanted. So yeah, that's been, that's the easiest part, because that's where, you'll stumble. And I think people that are considering this, you have to think of it that your customers, your customer success, that's going to be the lifeblood of your business. That's how your business is going to grow. Great products are awesome, but great products get talked about by people. Good word of mouth is essentially testimonials. So you want to capture as much of that as you can and use it. It's the lifeblood of so many businesses. You just won't grow without
it. What would you say to somebody who's maybe on the fence about maybe getting this or not sure? What would you say to them?
Well, stop being a baby and just do it. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is that you have to focus on the value and focus on the return. And this is where entrepreneurs and business owners and people who aspire to be and aspire to have a big business, the difference between, I've coached so many successful business people over the years, and I will tell you that the difference between successful business people and people that are kind of wannabes or B-level people that just kind of dabble and have good businesses is that the successful people focus on the return. Focus on what they're going to get. The wannabes and the B levels, they focus on the investment. So you have to think this is testimonials. You're not going to get a better return on your money than you can't get these odds in Vegas. I mean, you're not going to get a better return on your money than testimonials. You just got to, if you want to be a legitimate business, you have to start acting like a legitimate business, and you make investments on things that are going to make a difference. So if someone's watching this and if they've got 3 or 4 or 5 business courses that they paid a couple $1,000s for, and they don't have the business that they want, you're pushing your money in the wrong place. So skip the next seminar that you're going to go to. That you're going to hear the stuff you probably already know. Skip the next new shiny object and put your money where it's going to make a return. If you invest in a course, there's no return guaranteed on a course. It's up to you to put that into action and to learn it and stuff like that. Or if you go to a seminar, there's no return guaranteed. But if you put your money into something like this and you invest in this is something that you could start, right away, and you could see a turnaround as fast as you're available to work. And you can if you did this, you'll be making a significant profit before the credit card bill comes. And that's the power of testimonials. So my advice is, don't be a baby about things. Act like if you want a legitimate business, you need to put a legitimate professional face on your business and start acting like it. And testimonials are, go on QVC, go on infomercials, go on anything that's out there in marketing. Look at all I forget whatever the food, was it Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers? It's all just testimonials. And that's what moves product. So that's my advice: is you just got to put your investment where it's going to pay, not in something that's kind of, oh, maybe this will equal something. Because a true business owner, a true entrepreneur invests and sees returns. A dabbler, a wannabe, a B-level guy, they just do what appears to be business, and it's not.
Very cool. Anything else you want to add to that, or is that it?
No, I would. Well, the one thing I would add is, your work stands very, or speaks for itself, I should say. But I will tell, you've been working with us now for, I guess, more than a year or so, for more than that maybe. And there hasn't been a time where you haven't told me something was going to happen and it happened. There hasn't been a time where I gave you something and I didn't think it was going to be finished. I knew it was going to be finished. I knew it was going to be done. There hasn't been anything that you haven't done for me that hasn't been done right. Um, we trust you with talking to our customers and talking to our clients and people that we consider, like family. So I think there's a trust level with you that I just have absolutely no hesitation to say to the people out there that when Eric says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And in this day and age of trying to find competent professionals and outsourcing, that is something that's very rare. So it's not to be taken lightly either. There's the old phrase that you could pay for a job to be done, or you could pay for a job to be done right. But either way, you're always going to pay in the end for the job to be done right. Most time, paying to have the job done, you have to do it again, right? So you're better off going with someone who's a professional. And that's not even to get into your background and interviewing and stuff like that, which is obviously the skill set you bring. So it's been a great experience from start to I don't foresee a finish line anytime. So that's just the trust factor is huge.
Cool. Well, Paul, thank you for taking the time, the kind words about service and for me. I do appreciate it, and I'll be chatting with you soon.